Folks, it is Mrs. Johnson with the Agro Wisdom channel. I'm in a new environment. I'm gonna start a new thing because I just got home from class and I didn't want to nerd out and do a like full-fledged video. So I didn't want to like prepare stuff this week. So, I grabbed my little snuggly little guy, this little guy. And I grabbed some snacks and some blankies. Oh, blankies. And a hot cocoa sitting over there on my little nightstand doohickey thing. And I grabbed a book about agriculture and we're gonna read and we're gonna be all cozy and warm next to my fire and read some agriculture stuff as I prepare to go to bed. And maybe you'll learn some stuff. And maybe I'm making you read this for class or something, or extra credit. And you don't want to read it. So you're going to watch my YouTube instead. Or maybe you're just interested in what I want to read during my bedtime. So, um, let's see. This book called Cattle Country of Peter French. Um, I bought it from the book bin in Oregon, OSU, when I went there to visit. Um, oh, Cattle Country of Peter French by Giles French. I wonder if they're related. Into the valley of Donner and Blitzen, almost a century ago, rode Peter French with 1,200 head of California cattle. John Devine of White Horse Ranch was already in Harney country of southeast Oregon, but the Blitzen was left for Peter. There's maps. I will show you if they work on it. This is the story of how the great stockman of the late 1800s set a pattern for the modern cow ranches, improving the land and cattle by the best scientific methods available. Peter French himself irrigated thousands of acres of sage land with his canals and ditches. Hand-driving and ambitious, French in a few years won control of 200,000 acres of rangeland and thousands of heads of cattle. Thousands of head of cattle. Stripped of all the extravagant yarns that have grown up about this wild, beautiful place in the days of the cattle barons, this book shows that the honest portrayal of these men of the Old West is more readable, more challenging than any fiction about them. Compiled from courthouse records, journals, the files of early newspapers, and from the old stirs with long memories, here is the way it was. Here is the way it was with Peter French and his vaqueros at P Ranch, John Devine at the White Horse Ranch, and Henry Miller, the butcher, not the cowman. Here is the behind-the-scenes story that the famous court case, French Glen versus Alva Spring. The settlers won, possibly because there were more of them. Even today, lawyers study this still argued case. I haven't heard of it. I'm gonna Google it later because I should know. It's an ag case, but I didn't do ag law or ag politics. So maybe that's why I don't know. Here is the story of Peter's bride, Ella Glenn. Some say she never even set foot in Oregon. Romanticists Romanticists deny this. The facts are here. You can judge for yourself. What stands out sharply is Peter French dedicated his mature years to building his cattle empire. There are others There are other valleys in eastern Oregon, green with native grasses, beautiful to the cowmen and to cows, yet none has the glamour French gave to the Blitzen by the intensity of his single-minded efforts. This was the price he paid for his own ambition and his loyalty to Dr. Glenn. The man who killed Peter French, in full view of half a dozen cowhands, was declared not guilty by the courts, and Peter was unarmed. There were many who hated him as a land-hungry overlord. Yet if a family was short of meat in the winter, French would send over half a cow. Usually, though, the settlers took care of this little matter themselves. Okay. Nuts. Oh, it's got cute pictures. And I'll show you. Look. See? Ooh. Oh, cute. You can't see the map because, of course, it was being. But there's a map. Oh, now you can kind of see it. Anyway, there's a map, and it's cool. Um, California. Where is he? Oh, he's like, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize this. This book was owned by a Russell Tripp. I don't know who that is. Anyway, is there anything else? Oh, there is more. I got distracted by the pictures. On the back of the cover, too. Anyway. Here, for the first time, is the story of Dr. Hughes James Glenn, French's financial backer and his partner in the French Glenn Company. Glenn built a wheat empire in California and financed a cattle empire in Oregon. By 1879, he was known as the wheat king of the Western world. I've been to the place where they grew, like, the largest amount of wine in the world in Vina. I have a video about it. It's the one about the monks. That was really distracting. Anyway, Hen Owens was possibly the greatest of the promoters, or maybe just a swamp rat, in quotations. In any case, he figured importantly in the scandals following the swampland sales. Swamplands? In Oregon? I'm learning stuff. Before the soldiers and the cattlemen and the settlers, there were Indians, and you will read of the big last revolt of the Paiutes and the Bonooks in southeast Oregon, and of the death of Buffalo Horn and of Egan. I am so sorry if I'm saying your names wrong. Anyway, today is a great spread of French's P Ranch and Bill Hanley's Double O Ranch are part of the Malheur Wildlife Refuge. Thousands of visitors now come to the old P Ranch, fishermen, birdwatchers, photographers, and many just to relive the early days when one could build a where when one man built a cattle kingdom and was viciously murdered while expanding that kingdom. That happened a lot. I should do a video about the guy that Lassen County is named after, because that's also a wild story. Also connects to the Vina Empire thing. That's in California, though. Anyway, the famous White House burned. Only the tall chimney stands, but you can see Peter's unique round barn and the long horse barn. It's ridgepole straight and proud. There are photographs of all this, nearly 100 of them, from the views of the lakes and marshes and mountains of the Steen County through pictures of the ranch life and today's wildlife refuge. Close-ups of bobcats, dancing cranes, antelopes, mule deer, Canada, can, Canada geese, snowy egrets. There are photos of roping a calf, of wild horses running, ears up, manes flying, of buckaroos and drives to the market in Winnemucca, of Burns and early pioneers. There is a pictorial end map where you can trace for yourself the old cattle drives and locate the old towns and ranches and wagon roads. Okay, cool. Author Giles French is a native of East Oregonian, a Californian, not a native Oregonian. Gonna be an Oregonian next year, I guess. Was born near Grass Valley in 1898. Wow. Okay. I was born in 2002. Wow. Okay. And has spent most of his life in the region. His long term in the Oregon legislature and his many years as editor and publisher the Sherman County Journal have made him widely known to the public. His home is Morrow, where he continues to write, impatient with the half-truths that have grown up about the late great cattleman. He spent many years searching out the facts about them and the Peter French story. He proved that the truth is more dramatic, more satisfying than any other far-fetched fiction. This is though. Come on, Zoom, behave. Zoom not behaving. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that. Is it better if I come back here? No, it's not. There's weird things going on with my camera. Anyway, that's the author. There are cute little puppy dog photos and cow photos. Oh my goodness. This is a good story time book. And they're strumming to the T. I don't know if you say that anymore, but you know what? It's 2025. I can say whatever I want. And also, I'm like kind of old now, so if that's cringe, that's fine. Uh oh, it was published in 1964. That's a long time ago. So this current information, actually, so reliable. No, this author sounds fairly legit. Uh, it is kind of, you know, out there. So let's see. I think. How much is that? It's like 15 minutes. We'll call that good and then do another video because I don't want to be done reading. But I don't want to like actually start reading if you're not invested in this book. So you can leave now and this will just be a video of this will be the first video of Cattle Country of Peter French by what's his name? Giles French. There you go. Okay. Yeah. See you in a minute. I'm gonna be right back.